Welcome. Today's video came a bit earlier than usual. In it, I'll revisit how I approach painting fur texture. I began by base coating the mane of the lion with orange brown, and ochre brown for the rest. The paint was slightly diluted so it could run into the recesses and not clog the details. The ochre brown as sunny yellow didn't have the best coverage, but being a slightly brownish tone, it was nothing a second coat couldn't solve. With the base coat ready, I moved on to highlights. I had the option of mixing either ice yellow for a more chromatic tone or pale sand for a more desaturated one. I ended up choosing pale sand. And for the application, I chose to do some overbrushing, not pointing my brush but placing it sideways against the raised details, so as to avoid catching the recesses. And you might be wondering why I'm not simply dry brushing. And to be honest, you can. But I have shied away from the technique due to its low precision and dusty finish. And while I know both of these problems can be worked around through smaller brushes and a slightly damp brush, in the few cases dry brushing could be applied, I find overbrushing more comfortable. But you do what suits you better. With the base coat and highlights ready, it was time to wash. And for it, I'm simply using diluted acrylics. No need to go buy the expensive stuff if you already have the colors in your collection. The aim of this wash was to unify both colors. Though for the mane, I did add a bit of orange brown to it. Still, the almost similar tone will help both the mane and the rest of the pelt better integrate as a whole. As a bonus, I mixed a pinch of black, and with everything wet, I focused this darker tone over where the overlapping parts of the pelt met, and wherever the pelt met the edge of the model. For some extra variety and shadows, I added bits here and there along the pelt where it curved inwards. Once dry, I picked a random dark brown and used it to shade the leathery parts of the pelt, which were base coated with the same initial color of the wash, and applied it once again over those overlapping parts of the pelt, as well as on the edges. To avoid any harsh stains, I rinsed my brush, and with it being a bit damp, I cleaned and feathered the wash. Washes, while good to darken the recesses, will also slightly tint the raised surfaces. So to bring back the brightness, I'll go back to reestablishing those highlights. And once done, I'll add a bit of pale sand to the mix for some extreme lights. These will be applied here and there, not really paying much attention where they end up, though I don't want to overdo it. So in this case, overbrushing with the side of the brush will give me the precision I'm looking for. To finish off, I'll do an overall glaze. Last week I went over this when looking to paint black, so to darken everything down homogeneously. This time I'm using it to brighten the desaturated tones the pale sand gave me. Ochre brown was diluted 3 parts water to 1 part paint, and I made sure to evenly spread it over the whole pelt. On the recesses this will have little effect. However, on the highlights, which are almost white, this will actually add more luminosity, as well as very importantly push both the ochre and orange highlights towards the same spectrum, unifying even more both parts of the pelt. Thank you for watching. Hope the video was both useful and entertaining. Special thanks to my patrons Caleb, Cedric, and my new patron Alex Samosas. But that'll be it for today. Hope to see you again next time.